Share with you is to give you some historical perspective on why you should be celebrating today, why you should be doubling down on your commitment to a place like this, and why you should be proud. To give you a little historical perspective statewide, because this is a special event today. This is an inflection point. Back in the 1980s, I was actually on the board of something called the Inventors Council of Michigan. That was one of the prime entrepreneurial efforts we had going in the entire state. And it was a very weak organization. We didn't get help from anyone, and in many cases we didn't understand about innovation and invention in this state. We were too much big company. And we should always be proud of our big companies, the automakers and such, but we had a lot to learn. So we've had a transformation over the last 40, 50 years. And I'm not going to go through all those years with you, but I want you to realize how far places have come and how far you can go based on those successes and why you should work together. First of all, if you go back to the 80s, Ann Arbor was not the town it is today. It didn't have a vibrant downtown. Its downtown was largely empty. If you go to where it is today, it's an exciting place. You go back 20 years, it's come a long way. If you go back Grand Rapids, 10 to 15 years ago, it was empty downtown in many respects. Now look at it today. If you go back less than 10 years, look at Detroit. It's Flint's turn. It's your turn to take that mantle and run with it, to do something really special. And you should celebrate that and be very proud of that. What I can tell you though is, it takes hard work. I can see that commitment to hard work here. And when I say hard work, you have to stay committed, not in terms of 2 years, 4 years. Never think about a political term when you think about how much you have to stay committed for. Economic development work takes 10 to 20 years of hard work to really make it pay off. And that's the kind of commitment I hope you feel in your heart. Because it's not just for us today, it's for the next generation and the generation after that. And it requires that commitment. So I'm asking you to double down on your commitment to this. To understand this is something exciting for the long term. But what I would say is, you don't have to wait to be proud. You should be proud today of what's going on. I've been doing entrepreneurial work for decades. And I had the opportunity to walk around and to talk to some of the students that are here. It's incredible already, the things they're learning. I met 2 students that were doing a quiz already and they passed. They're fired up, they're ready to go. I met some of the 100K students. And what a diversity of schools they come from, the backgrounds, the fact they're working anywhere from 25 to 40 hours a week in addition to going to school already. That's the spirit you have going here. You need to support these students, and you need to create an environment where it's not Flint versus any other community. Embrace all the rest of Michigan, figure out how to make this all better, but you have an opportunity to be one of the leaders right with this Ferris Wheel building, with 100K ideas, and many other good things going on. So be louder and prouder about the great things going on here. Step up, commit. Support these young people because they will create the companies for the next generations to come. So celebrate today, commit today, and be proud today. Thank you so much.
Building, as it had looked for almost 40 years, it really took an amazing amount of drive and collaboration to bring this all together. And so as you look at all the different partners, whether it's universities or students or the chamber or Peckham or the companies that have made an early investment here, the state of Michigan and so forth, I know that in the foundational support, that none of it would have been possible though without the vision and the drive of Phil Hagerman. So I want to say congratulations and thank you to Phil for all that work. More than economic development that's happening here, and that's what I'm so excited about, is that this place, this space here, is about innovation and investment in people. But it's not just economic development where you're trying to advance a business interest, but it's investment in people. And you already see the way that it came together so far, and the opportunities that students had in making all of this a reality. But then carrying that into the future and making those important connections between people that just have an idea that need a shot to explore that idea, to somebody who has a business plan and needs a viable launch pad, to companies that are already in place and just need to enter this market to the bigger players that can help with mentoring is all happening in this space. And it bodes well for this city. It bodes well for the entire region. And it's going to make a huge impact on our state as a whole. Because the new currency of economic development, it's not things like tax credits. It's all about people and talent. And when you have people that are equipped to go out there and take advantage of the future and take their ideas from the napkin all the way to the marketplace, that's where the world has changed. So this community, it has a history of changing the world. It's going to change the world in the future too. Thank you and congratulations.
Done. I just want to thank Phil and Jocelyn for not just this, but for the incredible demonstration of citizenship that they exemplify in ways that we see, like we are experiencing today, but also in really quiet ways. They are really the epitome of what it means to be a citizen and a constant contributor to your community. So for that, we are enormously grateful. So thank you for that. Some of you know that I kind of like old buildings. There was a time where it seemed like I was picking up, when I was running the land bank, just about everyone that I could. Because just like this place, this represents a good part of our history. And what this building represents now, through the ingenuity and the creativity and the willingness of many to come together to create this moment, what it creates is a way to celebrate our past, to recognize our past in a way that points us toward our future. I mean, this building was built for a different purpose. Just like many of the other buildings that we now see coming back to life in this community. Built for a different purpose, at a different time, but now being repurposed in a way that is really not about our past, but about our future, creating a connection between the past and the future. You know, just about 100 years ago, only a few blocks from here, a handful of entrepreneurs came together and created something incredible that really put the world on wheels and built the middle class in this country. So we don't know, coming through that revolving door, what will come of it. But we know one thing, that with this day, with this building, with this effort, we are betting on our own future. We don't know if one of the ideas that comes through that door will create a job for a family and maybe put a few people to work, or maybe some kid walking in with a notebook in her backpack has the next $1 billion idea that will change the world and change this community at the same time. People in this town are special.
They are.
We believe in ourselves. We never give up, and we have been through a lot. We never give up in ourselves, ever. Today is an example of that. Because not only are we coming through the troubles that we've been through, but we're aiming really high. That sends a message, not just to the people around the world about what kind of a town this is, but it sends a message to kids growing up in the neighborhoods of Flint, that this community is and will always be a great place, and we believe in ourselves enough to invest in ourselves, enough to bet on ourselves. That's what this is today. That's why I'm so happy to be here and to be a part of it. Thank you very much.
Dr. Karen Weaver, we are truly happy that the Ferris Wheel is here in Flint. You know, when you invest money, you take a risk. I'd like to thank the Hagermans for taking that risk in Flint. We have more risk that we have to take, but it takes brave people and strong heart and conviction to put up money on an idea. And we truly thank you for that. And one more thing I'd like to add is some of those young entrepreneurs, we'd like for you to keep your business right here in Flint. So on behalf of Karen Weaver, thank you and welcome to Ferris Wheel to the City of Flint.
Everyone need a shot? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.